Hey there, I hope you all are doing well. This is Upasana and I welcome you back once again to my channel. So today's video is all about 5 books that have always been close to my heart. So these are books which I have read years ago but are still fresh and have made a certain kind of soft corner in my heart, and I cannot ever forget this book. So I'll talk about these 5 books and I hope you will enjoy the video. So without any further ado, let's get started. So the first book on my list is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. So this is a book that I have read while I was in high school, and it has always stayed close to my heart. It was actually the first book that I have bought with the money when I started earning, like part-time jobs, when I started doing part-time work and got the money, and I used that money to buy this book, and since then this book has always been close to my heart. This is just one reason of loving this book, but there are so many other reasons why I love that book. I think this book taught me what racism was in real sense when I was in high school, because at that time I never closely felt I did not know what racism was all about. I knew the basic definition of what racism is, but to feel what it evoked in people who were victims to racism, I think that book, this book has really taught me that. And also the figure of Atticus, the father, in this book has taught me some of the greatest lessons of life which I cannot ever forget. And after reading this book, I think I have gained certain kind of maturity in me, which were very helpful in my long run. So yeah, this book has always been close to my heart. The next book in my list is The Boy in the Striped Pajamas by John Boyne. So this is a book which I have read, I think 4 years ago, and it's still fresh in my heart because the story has made me cry so much, and I think I could not get over after reading this book for I think around 15 to 20 days, because the story was so heartwarming and the story just broke my heart. Yet I have always loved stories that breaks heart and makes you feel emotional and sad. There is so much to learn from this book. It is based on the World War scenario and everything. So I think many of the book readers have already read this book, and I do not know how this book has placed itself in their hearts, but for me, I will always remember this story, plus the innocence that revolved around the protagonist in this book was beautiful. How it connected a bigger issue, and how it connected a issue that was so deep and so serious into the lives of 2 little kids who did not know what was going around them. All that mattered to them was playing happily, innocence, and having some good time. The storyline was just so perfect, and that is the reason I think it will always stay close to my heart. I really learned a lot from this book, and yeah, that's all. The third book on my list is A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. Again, this is one book which made me learn a lot. I think this is the first book which I read through a feminist point of view, and also about women, the barriers, the limitations that women had in a society. I think this was the first book that made me exposed to certain limitations and all the problems and all the difficulties that a woman go through. I think I have learned this from this book, A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. I have read this book like 3 years ago, I guess, and since then I could never forget the story or even the slightest of the story in this book. And also we all know what Afghanistan is going through, what has happened to Afghanistan now. But when I look back to reading this book, I like the way I read this book it felt like it was all in the past, and now there is nothing as such that Afghanistan is going through. But when this year all that happened, how Taliban captured Afghanistan, I could remember the story in my heart, and like, you know, what if they, the women of Afghanistan still faces, or you know, once again go through the same, just like Mariam, you know, went through in this book. So yeah, when the situation got worse in Afghanistan this year, it just made me remember the story of A Thousand Splendid Sun, and there is nothing that I personally can do about it. But yeah, feeling the, you know, pain, if you try to feel the pain of what this Afghanistan women, you know, women of Afghanistan go through, or what they might be facing right now, as like, you know, their families are, you know, trying, the people of Afghanistan are trying to save their life. They're leaving back their home, they're leaving back their land, which they used to call their home, and you know, just trying to save their life, and you know, are ready to live their life as refugees. So when I think about it, it just breaks my heart, and you know, make me remember the book A Thousand Splendid Sun. I think this book has made me close, you know, feel closer to women of Afghanistan. And yeah, that's all I can say, and this will always remain fresh, and I will always love this. The fourth book is Jhumpa Lahiri's The Lowland. Again, this book, I read this book at a time when I did not know much about, you know, books that were meant for adults, because I was around 18 or 19 years old when I first read this book, and I can remember like how I found it difficult to understand in certain points, you know, at certain pages or certain chapters in this book. So yeah, I did feel difficult, you know, in reading and understanding the content of this book, but rereading it, you know, or reading the same paragraph 2-3 times, I got to learn a lot of things. This book, it talks about India, or a society where, you know, young people were drawn towards politics, and how politics, you know, ate them from inside, you know, making like, you felt that you joining the politics, or you know, you being a part of politics would make this place a better place, but by the end of the day, it just ruins the life of a lot, and a family has to go through, you know, the darkest of time because of it. So it talks about the time when the people of India, you know, were so much attracted and drawn towards politics. And another thing that I felt I got to know newly is the lifestyle of Indian American people, you know, like, you know, Indian people who lived in America, because I think the author was also an Indian who lived in America, so she had the knowledge, or she is exposed to the lifestyle of Indian people in America, so which is why she has added that flavor or that angle in this book. That was also new, and I got to know how, you know, how it was to, you know, make yourself feel home, or how you make yourself, you know, comfortable in a foreign land which is very, very far from your own, and how you miss your home and everything. So yes, the story also taught me like how people still tries to fix things when everything has gone worse. So yes, it also taught me about life. This book has also taught me about life, and this was my first, like, you know, mature book which I have read, and I felt difficult to understand definitely at the initial you know, stage of reading this book, but yes, I did learn a lot from it. The fifth book is Full House by Maeve Binchy. So this is a very little book. This is a very small one, and I think it's been 2 years or 1.5 probably that I have read this book, and I just loved this book. The reason is that this book teaches us the responsibilities and, you know, what you owe to your parents after getting to a certain age. You know, we have always been dependent on our parents. We have always, you know, been raised with love and affection, extra love from our parents, but at a certain point of time, our parents do feel that we need to help them one point, although they do not say it out from their mouth, or maybe they do not express it, or maybe they do not even feel, but it is our responsibility to look after them after a certain period of time. And this book is an eye-opener for all the young people. After reading this, I have felt the responsibility of being independent and maybe helping your parents by some means. Even if we are not being able to give something back, it is very important that we start looking after ourselves after a certain point of time or after a certain age, because like we do not know the struggle, or we do not know the hard work that our family has been through while raising us to someone, or raising us to be someone where we can earn something for ourselves. So when our parents see us being independent, it's like they will be very happy, and they the happiness can never be compared to anything else. So it's very important to feel responsible and to feel or understand the pain and understand the sacrifices that the parents made. So that was it. Those were the 5 books that have always been close to my heart, and I have always loved or learned something from them. There are many other books which I have loved and which had stayed in my heart for a long time, but I think these 5 books are some of those books which are incomparable, and which have a different kind of connection with me. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If out of this book there were some books, or all the 5 books that you have read from this list, and do tell me how do you feel about this. And I would really love to know if there is any kind of book, or if there is any book which made you feel connected in a very different way, or have stayed the longest in your heart. I'll see you next time in another video. Till then, stay safe and bye bye.